In today's video, I will introduce you to the basics of the Latin language. To begin with, it is crucial to remember that, like any other language, Latin may be challenging or tedious. There is a variety of peculiarities, grammatical and syntactic terms, and a wide range of vocabulary. You will definitely learn Latin as long as you are patient and willing to keep an eye out for detail. We could say esto perai pretium, which means it is well worth it. So, in this video, I will talk about the Roman alphabet, all the categories of its letters, the pronunciation, as well as the long and short vowels. Whilst Latin is a predominantly written language, it is interesting for some people, like myself, to learn how Latin is pronounced as well. Consistency in pronunciation is much more significant than perfection, and this is what I will try to produce in my videos in general. There is not a universal way of pronunciation. It depends primarily on the time period and the geographic place. I will follow the revised pronunciation which was made during the 20th century, endeavoring to reconstruct the pronunciation of Latin, and it represents the closest that we can get to the actual one. Let's begin with the alphabet. The Roman alphabet consists of all the letters that exist in English, except that it lacks the letter W. In my opinion, as a non-English native speaker, the pronunciation of the Latin letters is much easier than the English ones, for the reason that the majority of the sounds has one or two possible sounds. Great, right? 6 of these letters are called vowels, and these are the A, E, O, I, U, and Y. Although the letter Y is a semi-vowel in English, in Latin it is a vowel, and it is borrowed from the Greek alphabet, and more specifically, the Greek letter Y, and this is why the Romans called it I Graecum. You will find it almost exclusively in Greek words, like the word nymph. The rest are called consonants. Please note that another letter, the Z, is also borrowed from the Greeks. Apart from the above, there is also the term glides. The two glides are the letters I and U, and they can act either as vowels or as consonants. To be more specific, the letter I in the word vir functions as a vowel, whilst in the words Jupiter and huius it appears as a consonant, and this is why it can be symbolized as a J instead of an I. The explanation is simple. In the second case, the I is at the beginning of the word Jupiter, and it is followed by another vowel, and in the word huius is in between two vowels. So, the above explanation works as a rule as well on whether or not the I acts as a consonant. Similarly, the letter U in the word consul appears as a vowel, whilst in the word vir it appears as a consonant, and again, this is why it can be represented as a V instead of a U. Note that all the written sources which contain a capital U represent it as a V. It is also important to introduce you to the other category of vowels, which is called diphthongs. Diphthongs, deriving from the ancient Greek word diphthogos, means two sounds. So, a diphthong is a combination of two vowels in the same syllable. There are 6 different diphthongs in Latin: I, A, Oi, Au, Eu, and Ui. It is now time to turn our attention to the consonants in more detail. Some of the most important information regarding the consonants in Latin is the following. The letter C is always hard, like K, as in the word calm, and the same applies to the letter G, which is always pronounced as a G, like in the word gold. Additionally, the letter R is always a hard R, like in the word Roma. Also, the letter S sounds only as an S and never as Z. So, it is Caesar, not Kaiser. Also, the combinations of the consonants CH, PH, and TH are pronounced as a K, P, and T, respectively. For instance, we say Charybdis and Pulcher, Pilosopus and Pilologia, Thorax and Trachea. Now, let's focus on the diphthongs. The first one is pronounced I, like the English word I'll or I. So an example in Latin is saepe, which means often. The next one is au, like house, so laudo, that means praise. In addition to that, ei, like the English word rain, and an example in Latin is deinde, that means then. The fourth one is eu, in a Latin word seu, which means or. Next, we have oi in the word proilium, that means fight, like the English word oil. And finally, ui, like fluid. For instance, it's fuit, that is the third person singular perfect tense of the verb sum, which means he, she, or it was or has been. The most significant ones are the I, au, and oi. Finally, let's look at the vowels, which are considered as long and short. A long vowel takes about twice as long to enunciate as a short one. Of course, all the vowels can be either long or short. It depends on the word itself. The long vowels are marked with a straight line above them that is called macron, again, a word which derives from the ancient Greek makron. As regards the short ones, they are marked either with a curved line or they are left unmarked. For instance, the word that means love in Latin, it is pronounced as amor because the a is a long one and the o is short, whereas the word Roma has a short a and a long o.